What's up, everyone? This is Q from Retro Q Gaming. If I sound a bit dejected in this video, it's pretty much because I am. So, the reason for this is by the time this video is up, by the time it's finished, all the editing and recording and uploading and processing, 2K Games will have released a new game by Turtle Rock Studios called Evolve. Now that game comes out here in Europe or in Ireland in 29 minutes on Steam, so it'll be out here. Chances are it's either going to be out shortly in the US or it's already out, depending on when you see this video and when it's up. Now, Evolve is, or Turtle Rock Studios is the group of developers behind Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Both two games that I thoroughly enjoy, as do millions of other people. Now, the thing about Evolve is it plays very similar, but it's, kind of their, if you'll excuse the pun on play on words, the evolution of, Left 4 Dead, or it was technically the original idea, but that's not the issue. In Evolve, you play as a group of 4 people with 4 different roles. They all have different abilities and all. I'm not going into the gritty details of it. That's not what this video is about. Versus one big monster, and the monster is also player controlled, and they have a whole different thing, and it's basically 4-on-1. So the reason this video came to be, and the reason why I'm just so disheartened in general, is that Evolve is most famous at the moment for its extremely over-the-top and convoluted DLC plan. Now, I'm not going to go into the exact specifics of the DLC. I'll give a brief overline of it, but it's just there's so many different variations on it that I'm finding everywhere that it's just exhausting. So basically, you have the main game, which is a full price game. It's €50 on Steam. So around here on consoles, it's going to be, I don't know, it's probably going to be about 65, 70, €75, because that's what next gen console games are around here, at least. So that's between €50 to €75 as an outlay straight away just for the game. And that comes with, there's 3 monsters in the game, and there is, from what I understand, up to 12, I believe, up to 12 characters in game. There's 4 roles, and from what I understand, there's 3 different characters per role, all with different skills and abilities and stuff like that. So that basically gives 3 monsters and 12 characters. Now, excluding the vast amount of skin packs and all that kind of stuff for sale for real money, they're just skin packs. That's it. That's not too bad. Almost every game does that at this point. Should they? No, probably not. But that's not the issue. But what is the issue is that they have 2 new playable monsters coming soon for what I can only find in either US dollars or pound sterling. I can never find it anywhere in euro. And the euro price, or sorry, we'll go by the pound price. The pound sterling price on a new monster is £15. £15. Now that, for you Europeans, or my fellow Europeans and Americans, Canadians, things like that, that's roughly going to translate as €20, $20, because it doesn't usually transfer across evenly. There's usually a small difference in conversion rates. So you're looking at roughly €20 or $20 for a single monster character. A single monster character. Now, they've said that they're not going to be OP, overpowered, so that you'll feel like you have to buy them in order to keep up. Now, whether they stay true to that or not is yet to be seen. But that's an outlay of an extra about €40 for the 2 extra characters, or the 2 extra monsters, straight away. So I'm going by the digital Steam price on my Steam right now is €90 for the game and the 2 additional monsters. Now on top of that, they also have 4 additional player characters. 4 additional player characters. Again, the price on them is kind of sketchy and it varies wherever it is, but you're looking at roughly £6 for £6 for a single playable character. Now again, these are not just skins, these are actual new characters with what I understand to be different sets of skills and abilities that will play different from the existing characters, and they've promised to not be overpowered because, I don't know, that's just what they do. But the real issue is that's 4 characters, £6 each. You're looking at the best part of €10, $10. You're probably looking between maybe $8, €8, $8.99, maybe up as far as tenner each. And that's, that's nearly €40 for 4 more characters. Now, they are included in the hunting pass, the season pass, which is called the hunting pass, which is €20. So you get your 4 characters, your 4 additional characters, with a little bit of a saving in it when you look at it that way. And you also get 3 exclusive skins, which are for the monsters. They're only skins, they don't change anything major. That's not really important. So, they're just skins. I'm not really going to beef with that. But you're looking at, okay, so what's that? You're talking €50 for a digital game, €20 for a season pass, that's €70. And then you're talking an extra, what's probably going to be €40 for the 2 monsters. So you're looking at, €110 for the game with the proper quote unquote experience. Is everyone fucking sick of this DLC? This fucking DLC that I'm just as fucking sick of. It's beyond ridiculous. I mean, it started back in the day. There were expansion packs. That was it. You get a full-on expansion pack maybe a year after the game came out. If the game was good enough to get an expansion pack, if it was as popular enough, all that. Then with the advent of what we have nowadays on the current PlayStation network, be it from PS3, PS4, Steam, Xbox Live on the 360 and Xbox Live on the Xbox One, that's, as much as I hate to say it in negative ways as well as positive ways, it's times have changed, yes. Have they changed for the better? Fuck no. As a gamer, fuck no. That's it. Fuck no. Back in the day, even when this kind of stuff started picking up, you had small packs of stuff, which were things like, maybe a new dungeon, a new small side story, the infamous horse armor. Now the thing about all of these things those few that I just listed, and ones in those styles of DLC that I've listed, those were all cheap. Those were all €2, €3, €4 kind of things. They were dirt cheap, and what you got in them reflected that. And back then they had the main game already done. These things came out months after. They weren't hyped up beforehand to be pre-order bonuses, anything like that. And they were just given as small little bonuses, because back then games lasted forever. I mean, you still have a couple of games that do last ages nowadays, but back then it was just so much more. And nowadays, well, actually, I'll slow down a little bit. So I just used Oblivion as the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion as the benchmark there. A little bit after that, this is just my opinion now, but this is what I personally blame as the advent of the current age of the ridiculous DLC pre-orders, shit being held back from the game to be put in as DLC, looking at you, Destiny. But the main reason that I blame on all this is actually Assassin's Creed 2. Now, it's a game I liked Assassin's Creed 2. I don't buy Ubisoft games anymore, but I do like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. I started losing it at Brotherhood, but that's a different video. So Assassin's Creed 2, the main reason this is exactly why. You're playing through Assassin's Creed 2, the main story. I bought that the day it came out. The DLC, if I remember right, wasn't available back then, straight away, at least not at day one. But what I had the issue with was that I was playing through the story. I enjoyed it. I was going through. I think it was maybe chapter 8, maybe 10. Could even be in the slightly after 10. You finish a chapter, just for argument's sake, we'll say I finished chapter 10. It skips to chapter like 12 or 13. And you're in the list, the level select list, chapter select list, whatever it's called. And you go back and you look, it's like, okay, I'll do chapter 11. It skipped over this for some reason. It's DLC. The way they have it laid out makes it seem like they had their full X amount of, we'll say 16 chapter story, and then they finished it, and they ripped 2 chapters out. I think there was another one later on at some point that was also taken out or listed as taken out. But that's my personal blame on all that, where this all started. Ever since then, there's been ridiculous shit. Exclusive pre-order bonuses for fucking 10 different stores with 10 different fucking bonuses, and they're usually all shite. But it's just not the point. And then you've got what's Cosmetic DLC that fucking all the games have nowadays. One of them that's specifically bad for it is The Last of Us. The Last of Us was a very good game. The single player DLC, the one single DLC that came out that was single player story based was really good too. Every other DLC thing for that game is dozens and dozens of skins, hats, masks, all that kind of thing. And I'm not just picking on The Last of Us. The Last of Us, like I said, it's a good game. I enjoyed it. And there's so many other games out there that do it too, with masks, shitty DLC. I mean, it escapes me off the top of my head because I'm only after thinking about it during this video. There was a DLC I bought for some game back on the Xbox 360. I can't remember what it was. I think I probably paid about maybe 8, 10, 12, somewhere around the €10 range for it. And it was ridiculous. Like, I mean, it lasted maybe about half an hour. Maybe an hour if I was lucky. And it was so frustrating. And nowadays it's so commonplace that they go in, I'm just going to use a random studio as an example. The next Call of Duty game coming out, when they sit down thinking, okay, we're going to make a new Call of Duty game, I guarantee you they sit down and they say, okay, we have 2 columns. What we make is the main game, and what we make is the DLC. Now, the problem is they're actually going in thinking of putting this stuff in as DLC. It's stuff that they could, they could develop it and release it at the same time, and then add in stuff later on. And it's just, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking on my favorite hobby that I've had. I'm nearly 29 years old, and my earliest memories were playing games on my Commodore 64 when I was an absolute kid. I can't even remember what age I was. I was that young. I was like 4 maybe. And I was sitting there playing with my uncles and on my Commodore 64 I got for Christmas. And I've been there the whole way, all the way up through every generation. And look at my favourite hobby now. Look at our favourite hobby now. It's ridiculous. You have companies that are just in it to make... Okay, yes, they're companies. They're out to make money. But, I mean... We'll go back and we look at Destiny again. the game is Destiny is one of the most, if not the most, content light game I've ever played in recent years that I can remember at all. I can't remember a single game off the top of my head in the last maybe 8 to 10 years that I've played that has been as content light as Destiny. And story was a joke. Endgame, there's practically no endgame. It's the DLC is also extremely negligible. It feels like it should have been stuff that should have been in the game as side quests and all, but that's a whole fucking. There's a million other videos out there that express the same opinion on that. It's just, we need to stop. They need to stop. Now, the problem is they're not going to stop until we stop. So, I mean, just stop buying the needless crap. It's vote with your wallet. That's the only thing they hear. At the end of the day, that's the only thing they'll hear. When numbers are down, that's it. Now, I know there's some sketchy companies out there that will remain nameless, and that will say, they'll try to bully people into buying them, and they'll just say stuff like, oh, well, if if this game doesn't sell, we're just cancelling the series and we're not releasing any more. So, sometimes we kind of feel forced and obligated because we don't want to see some of our favorite series die. But, I mean, when did it become okay to release 75% of a game and then charge you nearly an entire price of the game to get the rest of what is essentially the game? That one's aimed specifically at Evolve because of what you're getting in the DLC and the price of it and all that kind of stuff. There's tons of videos and tons of reviews, people out there. There's a lot of people pissed off about the whole Evolve thing, and it doesn't. While Evolve is guilty of it, it's not the only culprit, and it's one of the worst culprits, but it's not the only one. There's other games out there as well that have season passes, which season passes in general, that needs to stop. Again, that's part of the whole DLC thing, but that should be in the game, or maybe added last minute, not planned from the start, that kind of thing. But I mean, this is ridiculous. That's all I can say. The state of gaming is ridiculous, and I for one hope it stops, or I hope we have some sort of video game crash 2.0. So it's just disheartening. It's beyond disheartening. It's just, so let me know down below in the comment section everyone's opinion on not just Evolve but DLC. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm not completely against DLC. Some DLC has done good, some has done well. Some of it, it takes its time to come out. It's developed more so announced afterwards and all. Some of it's overhyped. There's every problem engaged with, or every problem involved with gaming in general also expands on to DLC, and they have the problems too. So I just want everyone down below in the comment section, let me know your stance on DLC, your preferred DLC, what should be DLC, what shouldn't, microtransactions. Well, we won't really count them as microtransactions because that's a whole different area-ish kind of thing. So we just kind of keep it towards DLC, and no buying levels, buying OP items that you shouldn't have at that point. So we keep that out of it. So like I said, comment below, let me know on your whole DLC thing, be it evolved, be it not evolved. If you do buy DLC, why? What makes you want to buy it? What makes you not want to buy it? What's the cutoff point? All that kind of thing. And one thing I want to hear specifically as well is other people's opinions on exactly when this whole DLC era became what it is today. I want to see what other people's opinions are on when that started exactly. So leave one of those comments below. I know this has been a long ass video, but I'm just sick of it, and my opinion, I just want it out there because it's our favorite hobby and it's going to shit. So hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, you'd be doing me a favor. Thanks for watching the video, or more so listening in this case, and I'll see you guys on my channel for the next video.